What is up, guys? I'm Envy and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my final Project Pan update and also a new Project Pan update. I don't have nails on. And talking way too much. So if that is something that you're interested in, keep on watching. I'm back and I have nails on. Look, it's like a little car carrying a Christmas tree and like a forest, and I love it. But yeah, I am finishing up the Project Pan that I was working on, and I've started a new project. So let's get into that. So this new Project Pan is called 101 Magical Pans. It was made by Liz Plans and Pans on Instagram, and it's in collaboration with two other people that I can't remember, and I would look it up, but I used my phone to record and I didn't write it down, and I'm really sorry, but credit to all of them. I'll have all their Instagrams linked down below, but anyone was open to join, and I thought this is more like a structured Project Pan as opposed to just, here's a category of things that I want to use, let me use them. And it's a rolling Project Pan, so there's 101 things, but you select like 5 off of this little like spreadsheet. I used a random number generator just to make it fun, as opposed to like picking what I want to do and then like slowly, you know, working through what I don't, I guess, because I feel like if I have 5 things that I hate at the very end, I'm just not gonna do it. So luckily I got some things that I actually really like and was already trying to pan, funnily enough. So yeah, I think so what I decided to do was I'm gonna finish up like this Project Pan in a way, I'm still gonna try and use some stuff. Instead of like feeling bad whenever I don't use something in this old Project Pan, I'm just gonna use what I want and try and pan 101 things by the end of December next year. So let's go over what I decided to pan. I'll also have the spreadsheet link down below if anyone wants to follow along. I'll be doing updates here, I think every month, but then I'll be doing updates on my Instagram like as they happen. Like for example, if I pan an eyeshadow, I'll post the picture there, but I won't post like a video about every single goal that I meet all the time. I'll just go like month by month, and yeah, let's get right into it. So I'm going to be reading the prompts that I got, so my apologies for like looking down, but I want to give like the description that was in the spreadsheet, because otherwise it's just going to be diarrhea of the mouth. So in my little random number generator, I first got number 39, which is Stitch, and that is a product that I use for another reason other than what it claims to be used for. And for that, I chose Tarte. Tarte is a Super Shock shade in my Colourpop Whatever palette, and I really like using them as highlighter. Look at that, especially that like soft gold shade. Oh, love it, stunning. I think it looks really well with my skin tone. I also have it on my brow bone and in my inner corner. And yeah, in my old Project Pan, I completely panned 24 carats, this Super Shock shadow, by using it as a highlighter and sometimes as an eyeshadow. I just prefer to use them as a highlighter, honestly, or an inner corner highlight. So yeah, this is completely done. This one is almost completely done. But for now, I'm going to work on Tarte. Typically, I use for this last Project Pan, I put like all the makeup that I intend on using in this like bag. That way I can just like easily find it and like pick it out. But I had a lot of stuff because I was just like category eyes, category face, category this, whatever. And so I have everything dumped out. And so I can't find what I'm looking for. So this is also gonna help with my organization a little bit. All right, I found it. So My next prompt was number 18, and that is Olaf, and that is a product that melts or is melted or is Melt Cosmetics, which I don't have anything of. And I know that I'm stretching the boundaries with this a little bit, but I wanted to keep the main focus to be primarily eyeshadow and skincare. If I feel like I'm forced to use lipsticks, I simply will not want to use those lipsticks. I have to want, you know, to use a lipstick, and my lipstick tastes just kind of go in and out, so I didn't reach any of my goals with my last Project Pans lipstick, but it's fine. So for this, I'm kind of stretching the word melt to mean evaporated. And so I have chose my Stila Glitter and Glow in Kitten Karma. And my goal is to finish it. But honestly, if I could like see the sides, I think I'll be happy. But yeah, Stila, remember when these were all the rage? I bought these, I keep looking over here. I need to look over here. My bad. Remember when these were all the rage? I got these, I got several colors, specifically on the recommendation of my friend Amy Loves Makeup. And I don't think she's talked about these in like years. So these are old and I need to get rid of them. So let's try and use these $22 glitter things. So I know that I'm stretching melt to mean evaporate, and let me have my fun. Let me have this. Let me have this. Come on. All right, so my next product was Hades, and that is a product that works well for anti-aging. And I chose, I'm not gonna go to my bathroom and get it just because I can't be bothered, but I chose my It Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream. I'll have a picture somewhere of like how much I've used of this like new and fresh one somewhere up here, but I haven't used too much of it. I used to love It Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream, and I still kind of do. It is just so expensive for how much of like a basic moisturizer that it is, but I got two like free ones in gratis and I need to get through them. So there we go. I'm just gonna be using that, and I'm hoping that it'll be done like a month and a half, at least by the end of February. Next is Esmeralda. That is a purple product, and so I have chosen the shade Obsession from my Colourpop Menage Muah palette. As you can see, I have that all over my crease and I've packed it into my inner corner. I think this is going to be a really great like pop of color. I really do like purple with my eyes. I feel like I like every color with my eyes. I think I just like my eyes. I feel like I'm like that annoying girl in high school that had blue eyes, and that was like her character trait, or like that one picture of Miley Cyrus. I feel like every color goes with my eyes, and I really like my eyes even though they are like doo-doo brown, but I don't care. I think purple, green, everything makes my eyes pop, and I'm excited to use it. And yeah, it's a matte, and it isn't super like fallout heavy, so I don't know when I'll get this used up by, but the goal is to hit pan in it, not necessarily like finish it, which I might try and do for Stitch. I don't think that I mentioned what my goal was for Stitch. Stitch is definitely hit pan, but maybe try to finish. Should I roll something whenever I hit pan on it that doesn't fill that like highlighter, topper, goal type situation thing, you know? All right, and last but certainly not least was the prompt number 50, which was Cinderella's Castle, which is a gold product. In case you can't remember or haven't been with me for a really long time, my previous Pan That palette was my Good as Gold palette. And guess what it has an abundance of? Golds. So I've already previously shown this palette to show like 24K is completely panned, but I have a pretty sizable dip in Gold Star, and I just want to get one more. I want to get a pan in every single one of these shadows so bad. So if there is a prompt that this fits, I'm going to put it in. And Gold Star is like my favorite gold shade that I think I've ever had. it's just great, and I love it, and I have it all over my lid. I think it's stunning. I feel, now that I look at my eye look, how it's purple and gold, I feel like I'm back in Louisiana. It's like, go Tigers, G-A-U-X, go, yes. Being from Florida, there were also like a lot of FSU fans there too. There's a lot of every football fan, every football team that's located in the South fan in Florida, or I guess in every state, but like we had Alabama, Auburn, FSU, and the Gators, LSU. I think that's it. Okay, I say every, but I only named 5. That's fine. It's fine. It's good. It's good. It's great. But yeah, anyway, gold star. I feel like I'm pretty close to hitting pan on it already, but that's fine. I wanted to give myself a couple of like easier goals to accomplish, as opposed to just starting out with everything being new products, because I have also used Tarte, not nearly as much because I just got done finishing 24 carats, but I still wanted to give myself some easier goals because Obsession, I think, has been touched at most twice. So, and it's a matte, so that's gonna be a little bit harder to get through, and I might be tired of purple by the time I'm done with it, but I don't want to sit and be doing the same purple and gold eye look and just hating this project. So I did give myself a couple of like freebies, for lack of better words, to kind of help me obtain that. So yeah, those are everything in like my new project pan category. And yeah, thanks Liz Plans and Pans for letting me in on this, or letting everyone, not me specifically, in on this project pan. I wanted to try the original 101 pan project whenever she originally came out with it in what, like 2019, I think, maybe 2018. I used to follow her on Instagram, but she left and like took a break, but now she's back and it's great. But I used to follow her on my old makeup account because I had an old makeup account, but I never started YouTube. I filmed a video and I still have the video footage, but I've always been too like self-conscious to put it up, especially now because it's from like 2017, 2018 area. But I followed her and I loved her, and whenever she deleted her Instagram, I thought she blocked me because like every post I commented and every like story that she put up, I like responded to because I wanted to be her friend so bad, because I just thought that it was awesome what she was doing. And I was still relatively new to makeup, but, and that is, it's just a long story. But I will be honest, whenever I saw that the prompt was Disney, I was just like, Arnar, because again, being from Florida, I've met my fair share of cringy Disney adults, and that is not something that I want to necessarily be associated with. But I don't think that Liz is a cringy Disney adult. I think that it's just a fun, Disney is such a big and broad like corporation that you can get 101 prompts fairly easily. So I don't feel like I'm going back on like my wants of not being a cringy Disney adult. I keep saying cringe. Not all Disney adults are cringy, I promise. But there are some that really toe that line. So, and again, being in Florida, you either are them or you hate them. So that's not what I feel like I'm just like writing myself into like a corner and I just need to stop. But yeah, I'll have the Google Doc link below and I'll have everyone's Instagram link down below. But I don't want to end this just with like new project pan. I do want to give like one final little update to everything that I had been using, so let's get right into that. So since my last project pan update, my Good as Gold palette, I have extended, obviously. I've completely panned 24 carats, which previously I still had like halfway left with it. I haven't done a project pan update in a while and I'm so sorry. Definitely extended the pan in State of Mind. I have a pretty big dip in Bold Rush, And I hit pan in Big Bruges. That's a pretty big pan to have hit. I haven't really extended the pan in Gilded. I just haven't really used it. I haven't really been using glitters. I still love glitters, I promise. But yeah, I currently have panned or have hit pan in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 12 shades, which is exciting. I've gotten a little bit more use in Nugget about it, but it's just kind of here. I got sick of it. I did add whatever into the mix, and I have gotten more use out of this, but nothing hitting pan wise. Obviously you can tell that I've used some of the shimmer and that glitter more. I did start to use Tarte, not super a lot, but I am excited to try and really pan Tarte in a little bit. Next was my Ulta Beauty brow tint. I've kind of put that away because I paused using it because it was just too dark for me, and it still is just too dark for me, and I've really been loving my Colourpop pencil, so nothing really was used or done there. I probably might be getting back into it just because I feel like this brow is a little bit soft, but maybe it might be just because I just got them threaded like 2 days ago, so they're a little bit thinner than what I've been seeing every day. I get my brows and my lip waxed, and I didn't go to a new place, but the place had a new lady, and whenever I pulled my mask down for her to like do my lip, it's been a while, I'm going to be honest. It's been maybe like a month and a half or 2 months, and I used to go like religiously like clockwork and get them done every 3 weeks. So this is like twice the amount of time, maybe a little bit more. And she was like, "Oh, your mustache is like Hulk Hogan's. It's blonde but long." And she like went so far down. She essentially gave me like did I say wax? Because I meant threaded. She essentially like went down like with the thread, like, and pretty much gave me like a free chin waxing. So naturally, with her doing my eyebrows, my chin, my lip, and comparing me to Hulk Hogan, I tipped her $10 because it was an amazing experience. Look, I know that I call people brother a lot and sometimes wear bandanas, but come on. Come on. No, it was really funny. It was, I told my friends about it. They didn't respond. I expected at least half a witty comment from them, but you know, you can't expect much from anyone these days. I say that fully knowing that they're watching my videos. Don't. I love my friends. I love it. Anyway, yeah, also, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but speaking of, now that I'm just on this tangent, I guess, I don't know why, but whenever I get threaded recently, like in the last like couple of years, this used to never happen. I don't know why, like my body is just like, there used to be a hair follicle here, but since there's nothing here anymore, I guess I'm going to break out. And I'll get like pimples like in my brow too, where there was no threads like touched. It's like, why here? Why do you need to fill with something if it's not a hair follicle? Ugh. Anyway, back to the Project Pan update that we're all here for. All right, so I originally started off this old Project Pan using the Colourpop Brow Boss in Auburn. I had completely finished that last time, and I was well, I guess I still am using the ABH chocolate pencil kind of on like the tail of my brow, and the Colourpop Brow Boss in Warm Blonde on like this part of my brow. I really like Warm Blonde. I really like how Warm Blonde looks with my hair. I kind of wish I hadn't had gone in with chocolate. I feel like it made it, or I maybe just brought it too far forward into like the middle of my brow, because I do feel like my brows don't look nearly as orange as my hair. So, sadness. Another thing that I started off this Project Pan with that was an English sentence, I promise. Another product that I started off using this Project Pan and have completely finished was my Makeup Revolution Cut Crease Canvas in Illustrate. I've since moved on to using the P. Louise Brow Base in 02 Rumor, and I still use it. It's there. I use it. it's a big boy. I won't get done with that for a while. The next thing that I started off with using this project pan was my Tarte Shape Tape in Light Sand. I have like 3 of these and I no longer like these concealers. I have taken out the stopper and you can see in, and you can really see, like scraping the sides, that this is almost done. I am almost done with this. And I've already started, like, since it's so hard to get some stuff out of this, I'll put this light one on like the inner, like closer to my nose on my under eyes, and then I go in with this darker one. This is in light medium sand, kind of just on the outer, like. So whenever I put on my concealer, I'll put a dot here and then I'll swipe. So for the dot on the innermost part of my under eye, I use the lighter concealer, and then for the swipe, I'll go in with the darker one. That was so much easier to say. All right, so the next thing that I was panning that I have slowly learned to hate is my Becca at RIP, rest in peace, and Jaclyn Hill face palette. So I had already hit pans in Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop earlier on in the project pan, but I have the littlest baby pan, I don't know if you can see it, in this blush. Hopefully you can see that reflecting. The blush is Amaretto. This, panning blushes is hard, and these pans, at least for the blush, are very, very deep. So it's a little difficult. It's a little bit difficult. I use a healthy mixture of these, and then I started supplementing in a Morphe palette that I'll talk about later in to kind of like fill the void. So I'm still just making my way with these. As you can see, I like Champagne Pop a little bit more, but yeah, I've made headway in this, and I'm probably still gonna use it just because I want to get it over with, but I might be taking a break, I'm not sure. It's not a part of my official project pan, so I at least won't feel guilty when I'm tired of using it and decide to use something else. The next item that was in my project pan was my MAC Prep and Prime Lip Balm. Goodness. I was like this close to getting it done. It was like a nub, and then I moved, and I think I accidentally threw it into my skincare bag, and I haven't ran across it yet. So I know it's not done, but I know it's almost done, and I'll probably put it into like an empties video later on whenever I get back to doing that, whenever I get back into the swing of doing like project pan updates. So it's really close to being done. It's been really close to being done. I just need to find it and finish it. The next item is the prodigal son, because it has returned to me. It is the Becca Ultimate Lip Definer in Mystery. So I say that it's the prodigal son as if it left of its own accord. I'm just dumb and put this lip liner into my eyeliner bag. Swore that I looked through my eyeliner bag and couldn't find it, even though I wasn't really like I wasn't looking hard enough, I think. I was just looking for this little dongle that you can use to, this little dongle that you can use to like blend out on your lips and blend in and such. But I found it while I was moving, and so I've used it a little bit. Here is how much I have left. It is not a lot. So once again, RIP Becca, but I'm almost done with this lip liner. I haven't really been wearing reds. That will probably change as we get more into the holiday seasons. I didn't wear a lot of makeup during fall unless I was really filming due to some things, but it's fine. It looks like I'm gonna start wearing, I might not be wearing, it's hard to pan lip products whenever I'm wearing a mask so often. Like, I only really wear lip products whenever I film. So that's one reason why I don't really want to focus on panning lip products right now, is just because I simply won't, you know? So, and I don't want to get discouraged and yada yada yada, what I'm pretty sure I talked about like way earlier on in this video. So I have this lip liner. I'll get to it when I get to it. I'll see you when I see you. Next. The next item is another lip liner that I also can't find, but I've made a lot of headway on it. It was my Kylie Cosmetics Handbag Ho lip liner. I'm hoping I'll find it, and then I'll include like a little picture here. But whenever I last updated it, I think I was barely, like with the cap on, it says Cocoa on the side because it's from the Khloe Kardashian like third collab, and it's in Handbag Ho. I don't know if I've said that yet, but just in case I haven't. Handbag Ho liner. There in the middle of it, it said the word Cocoa. And whenever I last project panned, whenever I did another, oh my god, I feel like I'm just talking in circles. Whenever I last did an update for that lip liner, I think on the cap, it was like barely past the first K in Cocoa, and now I think I'm like almost completely like done with the name Cocoa, and I'm at the very like end of the pencil, which is very, very exciting because I have way too many lip liners. So it'll be nice to get one of those out and done. But again, I don't really wear lip products unless I'm filming. So it was literally just like every single video, my lip liner was Kylie Cosmetics Handbag Ho. And it also isn't available anymore since the rebrand. So, oh well, I really like it. I really did like that lip liner color, but I have way too many lip liners, and I'm sure that I have another peachy terracotta nude lip liner somewhere to replace this one when it is gone. So whatever. The next items were my LiveGlam Kiss Me lipsticks in Hottie Tottie and Velvet Teddy. I have used these so much and they are dried out. I don't know if you can see along the edges, not really with this one, like just in person. It's really faint along the edges, but these are so dry. I'm debating on just throwing them away. I'll probably take the stopper out and see what that does for them. But typically, if I didn't use the Chloe lip liner to line, I would use this to line instead. And this is just kind of like a nude mauve-ish color that I would like just use to get rid of some of my mauves that I swore looked good on me but never do. But yeah, it's I'm getting to the end with these. I'm getting to the end of like my patience because I have to dip in several times because they are so old and because they are so dry. I'm sure that I should just throw them out for both my safety and like my household's, but I just feel like I need to get these done. And so I'm gonna hold on to these for a little bit longer and probably still use them. But yeah, I've continuously used these. It's just hard to tell because of how dry they are. The next item was my e.l.f. and Nabella Noor My Renewed lipstick. So whenever I started my project pan, I like had never used this. I've only used this on like a couple occasions, and it's a beautiful lip gloss, but it's no longer available. So I'm trying to get like rid of limited edition things that like no one can use and that I can't like link to on my channel anymore. And I feel like the project pan is like the best way to do that. So I don't know if you can see whenever I swirl it. Yeah, there's like some gapping on the side, so it isn't like a completely like full tube anymore, and it's kind of stayed like that. Like there was some gapping on the sides where the product, gapping is what I call whenever the product gaps. I don't know what the official term is in project panning. It's just my own little nomenclature. That's not the word. Slang, I guess. It's my word. It's the word that I use, and it's the word that I'm going to continue to use until someone probably corrects me, unless I don't like it and I like gapping more. But there was like, it was starting to gap a little bit, and now it's like, yep, there is always a consistent gap where you can see through the lipstick and into like the tube. And yeah, I use this a lot. I'm probably going to be taking a break from her, but I do love this lipstick and I actually will be sad to see it go. But again, I'm sure another peachy nude will come and take her place in my heart. Another liquid lipstick that I used during this project pan was another Kylie Cosmetics and Cocoa Collection liquid lipstick. This is in the shade The Bigger the Hoops. It's a pink. I don't use pinks. I don't like pinks. I don't wear lipsticks because of mask. So I have used this a little bit, but you can't really tell. I don't even think there's any gapping. Let me swirl this around. Oh, there is a little bit. Oh, and it's gone. Give me a minute. Yeah, there is a little bit. Just the insiest bit. So I've used it, but there isn't a lot to like report back on. So I don't know if I'm gonna continue to use this, like trying to project pan it wise, but it was nice to get a lot of use out of it while I had it in the project pan. I'll see what lipsticks I just decide to film with whenever I wear lipsticks. So next. The next thing that I started out this project pan with was my e.l.f. 4-quad like face palette. So it had like a brightening powder, a face powder, a bronzer, and a contour. Completely done, pretty much. What I did was, let me find it. I just used it just now. Here we go. I panned pretty much, or excuse me, I what is it called? I repressed, there we go, all of my pressed setting powders into this Urban Decay all-nighter packaging and created this lovely like Franken powder. So the brightening powder and what was left over of the face powder are both in here. This was the all-nighter powder was like heavily panned, and then I had a banana powder in my Morphe tan palette. I put that in there, and I already have hit pan on this repressed little guy. So yeah, I'm making some headway with that, and then I'm gonna work on getting all of my loose powders used up. So that's exciting. But yeah, speaking of my Morphe 8T Tantastic palette, here she is. I've used the blushes, I've used the bronzers and the contour. You can't really see much. This highlighter, excuse me, I've used it like twice, and it picks up like a lot. This is gonna be like super easy to pan whenever I get into panning the highlighters in this palette. But yeah, it's all right. And this is what I replaced bronzer and contouring with. I replaced the bronzers and the contours like twice because I ended up I ended up panning my Catrice Sungasm highlighter, and then I started working on this Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess contour powder, and I hit a little bit of pan there. I mainly blame those I say blame as if it's a bad thing. I mainly give the credit, there we go, that's a much better term. I mainly give the credit to those pans to this brush that I use for my cheeks, because I kind of like dig in on the tip and then just use the middle to like blend out. I don't know why that's how I do it, but that's why. And I guess that's with a lot of my blushes, where I'll have like a tiny little pan at like the top or something, because it's like dig, and then like I pat with like this adjust in size, because Real Techniques has a lot of technology, I guess. So I'll like dig in on the front and then like pick it up with the sides and then blend it on the face. And yeah, so that's why a lot of like my pans are in like one little area, and then they'll slowly expand. I guess maybe that's just what panning is, but you especially saw it on like the Catrice bronzer, where there was pan in like one corner, and then in the other corner you could still see the embossing where it said Sungasm like all over the place. And it was just a really odd, like I just focused on one area, because that's just how I do. I don't know if everyone does it that way, but that's how I do. The next thing that I had started out this old project pan with was my Makeup Revolution Blur and Blot setting powder. That is another one of the powders, funnily enough, that I pressed into this Franken powder. And according to this, I hadn't even pressed everything into this powder before this update. So this is actually a completely new thing that I'm showing you, even though I've been using it for what feels like months. So yeah, all new pressed powder that I've already hit pan in, and it's just a Franken powder of like every single powder. Obviously I didn't get the granules too small, because you can see that it's like speckled and such, because I had like a banana powder and then like a light powder and then like two more like face toned like powders, and then a translucent powder, and it definitely looks like a tortoise shell like pattern, for lack of better words, in the pan. But it's really cool looking, and I can't wait to get this done, honestly. Like, having gone through like 4 or 5, I think, like face powders, it's just gonna make my life so much, it just makes me proud, honestly. It just makes me proud. All right, and the final thing that was in my project pan that I wasn't really panning, I just kind of included it because I go through it so much, is my Fenty Beauty foundation. I've gone through one of these already, and this is the second one. It's the only foundation that I really use. So I've gone through this like a little bit, or I say a little bit, that's a big pan. Yeah, this is a big pan. I've kind of started to supplement like new foundations. I still don't like liquid foundations, but give me a minute, let me find it. You ever feel like you're looking for something a little too hard and like that's why you can't see it? Because that's how I feel right now. I cannot wait to get all my furniture up here because I am tired of sitting and my legs falling asleep. And actually, funnily enough, what I just said about looking for something too hard wasn't true because it was underneath a stray Ulta bag. But I have been using this MAC Studio Fix Tech Cream to Powder Foundation. I have a little bit of like a dip in it, but it is like a cream, so it's kind of easy, I feel, to get a dip in it. I have been using this a little bit and I do really, really like it. I think it might be breaking me out, but I can't really tell if it's just like the stress that I've been experiencing the past couple months or just buying a new foundation in the midst of like a divorce, graduating high school, in the midst of like, yeah, your parents divorcing, graduating college, trying to get a big girl job, moving houses, and just a lot of other things. You're gonna break out a little bit from stress. So I don't think I want to blame this foundation, but I like it. I like the effect that it has on my skin. I think it pairs really well with my Fenty foundation. It makes me use not as much as my Fenty foundation because I kind of use this in like the thick, so the Fenty foundation, it's full coverage, but it kind of is harder to get like full coverage for me with like my cheeks because my cheeks are pretty red. So it's kind of hard like on my nose and like this area to get like full coverage. So I would just like stamp the stamp the Fenty foundation onto my face. So having this cream that's really thick that I can just like blend and then set, I feel is really, really helpful for everything. So yeah, I really like how my foundation has been working. I kind of really like how my base looks. I know that I go like really heavy-handed on my cheeks. I don't quite know how to stop that, but I think it looks great on camera. So yeah, I think this is everything that I had to talk about with my old and my new project pans. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I'll be back next month with another update and probably some empties. I do have some empties, but it's only like little sample things that I don't think anyone really cares about. So hopefully I'll be able to talk about all of that. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I love you all and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.